Scott Van Pelt Show on ESPN Radio, ESPNRadio.com, and ESPN2. Derrick Mason, the Baltimore Ravens, in studio. You can follow him on Twitter at DMason85, but that's D as in D-E-E, Mason85. And if you're watching on ESPN2, you see my man is properly outfitted. I enjoy. I mean, you got yourself put together. Earlier today, you had the shirt that said "a joke," which was in reference to the fact that you called the commissioner a joke. I gotta call you out here. You said I'm not saying this to disrespect him in any way. Now, where I come from, if you call a dude a joke, like if you're not, what are you trying to do then?
What I'm doing is this. Like I said, I didn't mean it in reference to the guy don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
He's not capable of running, the show as a commissioner. I was saying, listen, we have bigger issues. We have bigger fish to fry. I know you can multitask. That's great, but we got bigger fish to fry. We need to start playing football because without football, there's no drug program. So you can do all. You can say what you want.
So just let me just circle back here. This comes to do with the fact that the commissioner had emphasized that they needed a blood test for HGH.
Exactly.
And the point that you're making is that it's a joke to worry about that, as opposed to the bigger issue of why are we locked out? Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the thing. You can have I'm all for testing, and I've been all for testing. I don't want anyone to have the upper hand on me because they're doing something illegal. But we can't get to that point if we don't get guys back on the field. We don't get football played. So, the average hardcore fan, as much as they, want to see they don't want to hear about the drug policy. They want to hear about when you guys are going to play football. That's all I want to know. And
so, what is it like? I don't even know the proper terminology. Is it's Ray was talking. It's not backslash or whatever else. Something. What's the symbol that's in front of hashtag? Joke. Is that going to be your version of can't wait? We're going to figure out a way to monetize that thing.
Absolutely.
Got to make your money when you're locked out.
I mean, let's have fun with it. It's it was something that I said. I'm gonna stand behind it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna continue to have fun with it.
All right. Well, it's not fun for fans to freak out about their football because this is something we take very, very seriously. It's your occupation, it's your profession, but it's so ingrained in our lives that I don't think in April we as fans are worried. We got our summers to worry about, and football will be there in the fall. As players, how much do you trust that we will have football in the fall?
I trust that we do wholeheartedly. I don't think when it's all said and done that we will allow our differences to stop the game of football, because you gotta really kind of take yourselves out of the equation. I got to take us as players got to take ourselves out of the equation. Owners got to take themselves out of the equation. It's about the people that are in the middle, the people that are affected come Sunday, come Monday. If if there's a game on a Thursday or a Saturday, those are the people that are affected, because those are the people that need that check that's coming in on that day. And if they're not getting it, now they got to try to get it some other way.
Right. I can remember vividly talking to Charlie Batch of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Derrick Mason, the Baltimore Ravens, in studio with us here on the Scott Van Pelt Show. And this was, I want to say it was a year and a half, 2 years ago, that Charlie Batch, and here's a guy that's been the rep and he knows what's up. He said, we're telling our guys to put your money away. Don't keep spending these checks like you're going to have them continue to come in. Do you think that your team was fiscally responsible in terms of setting away their cash, understanding that this moment was coming?
I hope so. I think we did a very good job at keeping guys aware of what's going on.
Did you do anything different? In other words, hey, we got a trip, or you want to go this, you want to go buy that. Were there things you didn't do with this in mind?
No, because I've always been a guy that saved more than enough of a game check, put it aside, save it, because I understand that this is a short time that I'm going to play. I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to play 15 years. Now I got to live plus 15 years after this. So I got to put enough away for me and my family to live on. So, me is nothing different, but I think for some of these other guys, especially the younger guys, they really taken heed to it, and they've, made sure with their financial guide that they put enough money aside to kind of wait this thing out.
You and I were visiting before we came on the air here, and you said one more year and that's it. There was a time when you took some time away from it, and I remember thinking this is going to work out. You're going to play football again. When you took a little time, what was it that went through your mind that thought I got to get back out here and finish up some stuff?
Because I thought it was more or less unfinished business.
Is that a ring? Is that what it is to you?
Ultimately, it boils down to you winning the championship. And I just felt that we had the team to win the championship, and I still feel that we have the team, management, coaches to win the championship. So I didn't want to walk out without giving myself an opportunity to at least be in a Super Bowl. And I see it the same way this last year. Hopefully, we can put ourselves in a position to make it to the Super Bowl and win.
Derrick Mason of the Baltimore Ravens with us in studio. When you finally move on beyond football, how much will you enjoy being able to just watch the 2 games with the Steelers as opposed to being part of them? Whether it's, I can't think of how many guys I've talked to on your squad or the Steelers squad that just say there's truly nothing else in the game quite like those 2, or maybe 3.
Absolutely. I'm going to get a kick out of watching the Ravens play the Steelers.
Is it as real as we hear? It gets built up so much. Do you truly notice a difference in terms of the intensity and the brutality of those games?
Oh, you do. Because the two teams are so mirrored. They're identical, basically identical twins. We both try to do the same thing, try to oppose our wills, whether it be running or with our defense. And then we all have very good skill guys on the outside. So these are 2 teams that mirror themselves. And when you go out and going against your twin brother, it's like a slugfest. And that's what it is. So I'm going to enjoy watching. I think that might be one of the few games I watch when I retire, a Steeler game against Baltimore.
I think it goes back. I think it's even the cities. I think the cities see each other in similar ways. Blue collar, the fan bases, and all the rest. I think everything about those games that's why I believe it's the best rivalry right now in the NFL. As far as your quarterback's concerned, Joe Flacco, he got thrown in the deep end early, showed that he could swim. What's the most important thing for him to do to make everybody believe that he is the quarterback that can get you not just beyond the Steelers, but to that ultimate prize, what you're looking for, which is a ring?
Just to continue to do what he has been doing the last 3 years, maturing as a quarterback, getting better each and every day, willing to work. And that's what Joe, he's all about work. He's all about learning. And as he continues to do that, he's going to put us in a position to win a championship. And I think that's going to be this upcoming year.
I want to ask you a question about a story that's out there about Tom Zbikowski. He's a fighter, right?
Absolutely.
Now, what weight does he fight at? Whatever it is, it's not. He's 3-0. He's a professional boxer. Ray Lewis, apparently on the NFL Network, said Zbikowski would lose if they fought. Let's be a realist. He'd be the first to tell you he's not going to get in the ring with a 250-pound person. That's crazy. Who's the guy on your team, regardless of weight class, that you look at and you think, not in a million years would I put gloves on and fight that dude?
Haloti.
Oh, well, what's he weigh?
I don't know. He doesn't look like he weigh a lot. But the guy has to be about 340.
And he's got, I call it barn strength, like the kind of dude that looks like he just could yank a tree out of the ground. Like, I don't care what he benches. You could tell that man could just do physical things to you in a ring that you would not walk away from.
Exactly. He's more like a super heavyweight. He's one of those guys that you just, wouldn't get in the ring. And going back to what Ray said, that's what people said about Mike Tyson when he was fighting these, 250 and 60 pounders. Mike was 220.
Right.
And he was knocking him out. So I wouldn't want to get in the ring with Zbikowski. He's a professional fighter.
Right. I just want to close with that. You guys respect his skills in the ring, like he can fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think, honestly, boxing is his true love. I think he's one of those guys that excels at football and enjoys playing it. But if you really asked him, he would rather be probably a boxer than anything because that's his passion. You can even hear him talk about it in the locker room.
All right. I'm going to close with this. We talked about it. You said you believe it. If you had a gut based on what you hear, just what you hope, when do we get beyond this nonsense and everything's just we move forward and there's football? Do you think it's summer?
I'm hoping it's before the draft.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hoping. If not before the draft, right immediately after the draft. I think because of what the judge did.
Forced mediation.
I think that's a sign of hope, a glimmer of hope, because she doesn't necessarily want to make the decision. A decision is going to be made either or.
Sure.
So, either y'all make the decision or I'm going to make the decision. But I think football will be back played either right before the draft or after the draft, right after.
Good for you, good for us. We desperately need it. Again, you can follow him at D Mason, DeeMason 85. Derrick Mason, the Baltimore Ravens. Good to see you, man. Enjoy that last year. We wish you the best.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Scott Van Pelt Show brought to you by New Mobile Super Motor Oil. For long engine life, look for it where you buy motor oil and listen to the MLB on ESPN Radio all season long as we nominate Mobile Super Protection Players of the Week and give you the chance to win great prizes. Coming up next, it's the one big thing. I don't want to hear about Manny being Manny. That's just too easy and it's a free pass, and he doesn't deserve one. That's next.